Well, what about the Tony Abbott moment when he introduced some partisan politics into it when Barack Obama was there for the joint sitting and he raised the issue of uranium sales to India?
On selling uranium to India, President Obama had the good sense never to change President Bush's policy. In this country, on this policy, the transition from the former government to the current one has been, how shall I say, Mr Speaker, less seamless. But I welcome the government's conversion on this subject.
He always raises domestic division. You can never, Tony Abbott can't ever have a speech which is elevated to a higher plane.
He simply can't control himself on these sorts of occasions. It shows to me that he doesn't have the temperament to be Prime Minister if you can't rein that in.
Come on, come on. I was praising the government for its conversion. I was praising the government for its conversion to common sense on this matter. I mean, far be it for me, Lisa, to be Dr. No. On this one, I was being Dr. Yes. I was saying, Julia, well done, Julia. Right. Better late than never. Well done, Julia.
He'd come to praise her.
No, he didn't at all. Well, as the saying goes, can you bear it? I mean, there's Bob Brown, who interjected on George W. Bush, telling Tony Abbott how he should behave with respect to Julia Gillard.
And he got a caning for that too.
Yeah, he did. He got whacked.
I mean, he got a caning because he introduced partisan politics.
Well, hang on. I mean, since when has the press gallery been the arbiters of good manners? No. I mean,
what has Tony got to do with the press gallery?
Oh, well, there's been a lot of criticism of Tony Abbott's speech. Okay, by who?
Not only by you.
Yeah, okay, but I wrote a news story on it because people were talking about it as soon as the Obama address was over and he took off to the school. All the buzz around the building, there's a lot of it, and not just from Labor people. A lot of Liberal people were saying, "Oh, that was a bit uncomfortable." Now, the only reason
none of them were named.
Well, how many MPs ever stick their name to it?
I tell you what...
But in fairness, I went back through all the Hansard and I went and read all the speeches from all the state visits. When Crean was leader, he had Bush and Hugh Jintao, and Rudd had the Harper from Canada, Beazley had Clinton and Tony Blair, and not once did they ever, mention domestic politics. It was all convention.
Well,
with Tony Abbott's had three... Yeah. Leaders. And each time he's had a whack at the government. He did it with Udayana, he did it with John Key over climate, and he did it again when Obama was here. And look, he's entitled to break convention. He's allowed to. But if people get miffed at it,
but surely it's a question like you can have your fights at home, but if you've got a guest, you don't fight in front of them, right? It's just basic manners.
This is not my recollection. Correct me if I'm wrong. My recollection is that in 2003, Simon Crean, as leader of the Labor Party, gave a polite but considered criticism in front of George W. Bush of US policy in Iraq. OK, that's a political statement, not made against our Prime Minister, made against their President. You didn't mention that. I mean, really, the double standards here are quite stunning.
He respectfully disagreed with Bush.
Your argument, Gerard, is with double standards. You're not defending what Tony Abbott did.
Yes, I would, because we're always told politicians don't say what they mean. Tony Abbott gets up and says what he means, and then everyone says, oh, you shouldn't say it. I mean, come on, why can't he make a criticism?
We'll game on next time someone's here. Let's have it out. Let's have it out in the Parliament while leaders sitting there watching.
Rather than all this fawning and all this pretence, let someone say something they believe in.
Have our arguments among ourselves.
I didn't object when Simon Crean made that statement. I did not criticise Crean for that.
But he
criticised US policy in Iraq. I didn't criticise him for that. I thought it was good.